In this video, we're going to take a look at modeling the Trammel toy base, the bottom portion, and from it we have a drawing that is provided in the Resources tab to help us with modeling this. So from here you're going to see this is going to be another 4.25 by 4.25 square piece, but it's going to have 4 hexagonal cutouts. And it's going to have one hole here located, and all of these points are located by this bottom kind of lower right hand corner of the hexagon to help us do that. So you will see when we go to dimension, those are going to be very important as we take a look. Okay, so I'm going to go into Fusion. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start in a new design file. Go ahead and say new component, and for the component name I'm going to call this base dash bottom and say OK. And then I'm going to create a new sketch and choose the plane that is lying down. We'll go ahead and start with a 2-point rectangle from the center, 4.25 by 4.25, and go ahead and get that set up. Now the next new tool that I'm going to show you is going to be utilizing under the Create panel, Create Polygon, and I'm going to choose the Edge Polygon from the flyout menu. From here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to roughly click, so I'm going to create and I'm going to draw a line horizontally, and I'm going to go ahead and type in, that's going to be 0.21. So when we look at the drawing, you'll see this 0.21 TYP. The 0.21 TYP means that all of these edges on all these parts are going to be 0.21. They're all the same size. So here, I'm going to make sure that I'm at, so here you'll notice I kind of moved my mouse and it kind of rotated on me. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the tab key and make sure this is at 180 degrees. And I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and then I can go through and put in how many sides. It automatically defaults to 6. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to click to place that in there, like so. Okay, as I go along, this is really what we're going to end up working with as far as we go along, and I'm going to just repeat that same process, polygon, edge polygon, and I'm going to roughly place them where they would probably be. So I'm going to draw out 0.21, hit enter, go ahead and click and place that one. There's one over here, 0.21, hit enter. Let me try that again. And then there's one, I think, as we look at the drawing up here as well. Okay, so I have my 4 polygons. And the one thing I'm going to need to do is before we start doing any dimensioning, is the issue with the polygons right now is if I click and drag on these, you'll notice that this one here is kind of not, the points don't line up with the grid very well. So in order to help that, I'm going to click off here in the white space. I'm going to choose horizontal vertical, and I'm going to choose this top line. And I'm going to go down, I'm going to click the top line on each one of the 4 hexagonal cutouts. So that way they all have a horizontal constraint put on them. Okay, so as far as the dimensions, there we go, I can kind of keep them from going through the shape a little bit just by moving them. Alright, one thing I'm going to take a look at is going to be my first hexagon down here is 0.19 from the bottom to this bottom right corner, and then from here it is 1.39. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put those dimensions in place. So I'm going to click dimension from the bottom edge to this little point. So when you zoom in, you're going to see there's a little white dot that shows up on the corner, and that's what we're dimensioning to. So this was 0.19. And then from this right edge to that same point, I'm going to go ahead and have that 1.39 measurement. So let me go ahead and put that dimension value. And that's going to help locate that shape. Alright, the next one is going to be 1.32 from the bottom and 0.27. So 0.27 in, I'm going to click that same corner, 0.27. And from the bottom to that same corner, 1.32. and that's going to be what we see. For this one on the very end, it's going to be 3.77 and 2.57. So from here, grab that same corner, 3.77, from the bottom to that same corner, 2.57. And that's going to help locate that last one. Or we have one last one to take care of. So this one's 3.69 from the bottom, 2.64. So 2.64. And here I can kind of put this one in place. And that way it moves from the bottom edge to that same little point. Again, 3.69. Okay, that gets our hexagonal cutouts taken care of. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to use a circle since this is a simple hole, and I'm going to place that circle right about here. And using the drawing, I will see that it is 2.88 from the bottom and 0.88 from the side, from the right side. 0.88 to the center. I'll kind of cross these dimensions a little bit. And then from the bottom up to the top, 2.88. And it is I'm going to click on the outside, 0.38 hole. Okay, so a lot going on in this very first sketch, but here's the benefit of what we're going to do with it. I'm going to go ahead and say finish sketch. And rather than have to put all these in separate sketches, I'm just going to click extrude. And I'm going to click right about here, and I'm going to punch in 0.25. And what that's going to do is, as long as we don't click inside of these shapes, it's going to automatically create the holes for us right there in our part. So then all I have to do is go to Modify, Physical Material. And when I take a look at MDF and drag that over, so you're going to see there's the MDF. If you remember from last time, it may be one of those things I want to say Edit, Advanced. I'm going to go here to the Appearance tab, go down to Parameters, hit this little drop down arrow under where it says Color, choose the image, and I'm going to go ahead and hit MDF Board, Open, hit Apply, and then I can close this window, and I can close this one as well. And this is going to go through and provide us with our properties, which all I have to do is by going up here to the top level, right click, choose the properties, and you're going to end up seeing here's the area, here's the volume, there's the physical material. So this will finish out the base bottom piece, and you will need to put in those model properties in once you are completed.